welcome to a 1v1 between Pistol Pete's Pussy Patrol and the Choas Knights. Everyone needs an underdog, I suppose. Pistol Pete's will be Radiant today, and the Choas Knights will be the Dire. They immediately come out with a ban for Drow Ranger and Clinks. Now, I expect that's because we have Frozen on the Dire, who is an avid Drow Ranger fan, and Switch 9 on the Radiant, who is a very strong Clinks player. So they know who they're banning against. This is direct attacks. I should say I'm here with my co-caster, Left in Death. Thank you for joining us, Left in Death. Sorry, I got so excited there, I almost began without you. We did have that in warm-up rounds before this. And of course, again, that is favourites. I see him coming out again. Now, I know that AA is a favourite of someone. Is that Philip J. Fry, I believe, is one of his favourite heroes. He's been spamming that a lot recently in pubs. So we'll see what he can do with that.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Can be very strong. We'll see which pick it is for. Interestingly, they pick Axe against an AA. I'm not sure I would do that, but I'm just a 2k scrub, so what do I know? Yeah, this is, for those listening out there, this is not a very high-level game. This is not even a high-level broadcast.
5 seconds remaining.
So don't expect too much. This is just all fun and games. Again, another tanky hero that is a favourite. I'm expecting Chaos Gimp on the guy on the Dire to go carry this game. So we haven't seen his hero just yet. Interesting to see what he'll pick, as the Jugs and the Chaos Knight have been banned. Two of his very favourite heroes. I know he plays them a lot. And he is very strong with them too.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Zeus and Faceless being banned straight up very quickly on that Faceless. Two very annoying heroes to play against. It's kind of hard. Sorry, go.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We're at a difficult stage where we're not really sure what the plan is from either team, if either team even have a plan. Our first two picks were personal favourites. Our second two were off lanes, two tanky heroes. It could really go anywhere from this point.
Radiant team ban.
Ban of Phoenix and Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker, another favourite. Frozen.
I may have not been recording your voice throughout this whole thing until just now. So, welcome to the chat, Left in Death.
Right, let's see what this pick brings.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Interestingly, they went with the Ursa this time. I'm aware that last game they weren't that fond of that pick in the practice rounds.
You got the Warlock. So you got both support showing on the Radiant side.
Interestingly, the Axe and the Warlock and the CM all have a very good combination. Axe jumps in and does the call. If he can grab 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 heroes, the Warlock and the CM can chase it up very, very easily.
Yeah, especially with the chains, fatal bonds on the Warlock.
Fatal bonds, bring out the ultimate, CM's ulti as well. Massive team fight from the Radiant.
Yeah. And at the moment, Dire's picks are leading into that, with them all going to be grouped up with the melee heroes.
The only team fight that I can see really, that sort of the big area team fight from the Dire, is the Ancient Apparition. We'll see what their last two
Radiant
picks are.
team pick.
Weaver,
Oh,
another very
Weaver.
strong hero against single target enemies, generally speaking. That's
That is-
most likely Frozen's pick, which
Yeah.
probably means we're going to have a Philip J. Fry on the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, Frozen will probably take the
10
Weaver mid
seconds
at the
remaining.
moment, looking at it.
5
So we're looking
seconds
at a
remaining.
Weaver mid, AA
AA Underlord
5
offlane.
maybe? Ursa could also carry, you're right, Ursa could also carry.
Radiant team ban.
Viper, would that be mid, or do you reckon that's going to be their safe lane carry?
I'm expecting Axe to go off lane. Viper doesn't really seem to me like any of these
Dire
players
team
pos
ban.
1 picks. So I think Viper's going to be mid.
Radiant team
Warlock will
ban.
be off lane with Axe. CM5. So for Radiant, we're really looking at their pos 1. The Dire, Ursa could go pos 1. Weaver's most likely mid. Underlord's off lane. AA is probably off lane as well, but
Yeah.
also could play 5.
10
At the
seconds
moment,
remaining.
The Radiant
It's
have
a
a
bit
very good
anyway.
lineup.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, it'll be
Dire
about
team
getting
ban.
the Nether Toxin off as well. If they can get the Silence Nether Toxin off as well, they can kill the Weaver easily.
Yes, you're right. They may need.
Radiant team pick.
They have the Underlord route as well, which can stop Viper quite easily because Viper's already quite slow. So catching
Yeah.
Viper's going to be quite easy.
Yeah.
Weaver's very quick. It might work for the Dire here at this point. Interesting that the Dire
10
have banned
seconds remaining.
Phantom Lancer, a very strong carry, and
5
a
seconds
multi-target
remaining.
hero,
Yeah.
whereas they are very single target. So that was a good ban coming out from the Dire.
Well, we're either still looking for one more support or they're mid, because it could be AA is definitely going to be 5 and Underlord's going to be the 4 with the Ursa. And then they put the Weaver and the AA in the safe lane. So we could still be looking for...
Yes, you're right.
Chuck
Yeah,
in
potentially. Yeah, if they want very tanky. For the Radiant, I'm expecting this next pick to be pos 1.
Dire team pick.
And there's the PA.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Interesting they picked PA. There's lots of area team fight and then PA. I guess PA can just jump in and join in.
Yeah, I think it's
10
PA's going to be their
remaining.
pick off. And then Axe and Viper and all that, their
5
main
seconds
team fight.
remaining.
To back up the PA.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to this game. It seems like it's going to be a very interesting one. My money at the moment is on the Radiant. However, we have yet to see the final pick for the Dire, which could change everything.
Ah,
Choose your
Jakiro.
hero.
So Jakiro, do you reckon he'll be the 5 or the 4?
So it's going to be Ursa 1, Jakiro 4 or 5, Ancient Apparition 4 or 5, Weaver mid, Underlord 3.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
I know that
so they can have
Splaticus
the
playing the Jakiro, he has played 4 more than he has 5, although he is known to play 5 as well. So it's really a toss up at this point.
It's going to be some interesting laning phase.
Finally, we get into the juice, the crunch, the tasty bit. The laning phase is always my personal favourite part of the game because it really shows you how the team is going to work together. Those first 10 minutes,
Prepare for
the
battle.
most important 10 minutes of the game. Okay, let's get my camera controls.
Have a look here. So we've got AA pods 5.
Yeah, so we have the AA and the Ursa plus 5.
the hero and Underlord pods 3 and 4.
It's worth saying as well that all of these players from both teams, they're all friends. They all know each other. This is all good vibes, which means, of course, there's going to be a load of BM tips, BM taunts, and all the good stuff.
Well,
And
we
it
should look at
already
is this lot
begins.
here, all grouping up. Possible smoke going on here
Alas, so
in the top
small,
lane.
the world will hardly notice.
You think they're going to try for the first blood against the Ursa and the AA?
Yeah, seems
They're
like
all
it.
grouping up.
We only have 2 at top.
The next label play. The next label play.
They're moving around. This nighttime starting before the runes is working in their favour.
It's actually a 5-man top.
So they're definitely going for the
They're
kill.
going all in. At this point, Chaos Gimp knows, he tries to run, however they have way too much slow. The Chaos Gimp is going way down. They obviously focus at Pos 1 and taken down with ease with the amount of slows they have.
Yeah.
However,
Philip
AA goes
close.
straight for the bounty runes and ends up getting both of them.
Well played on his part. It's whether or not he can get out now.
Will he
No
get out?
stuns
Will they get the
available,
W?
no stuns.
No stuns. And he is very happy to TP to the top lane and join in. Was it worth it? Probably not.
Who
Although,
got the kill on? So it was the Warlock got the kill on the Ursa. That's bonus gold on the Warlock.
that will help him in lane quite a lot. I've noticed that Switch 9 on the PA, he is solo laning against these two. While
Yeah. What's the CM doing?
Cthulhu Goat is just behind, it seems, as he's running back to the lane to catch up with the PA. Checking out mid. Pushing quite hard into the Viper. I'm not sure who's going to win this one. Both players are pretty damn good at their mid game.
Yeah.
This
Both
is-
got their sentries up with the vision, just off of the river. Both on the same side as well. Which is unusual.
Really? You just did that?
A little bit of action going on top.
A little bit of trading with a Warlock hitting the AA.
Standard stuff at this point. I am curious to see
Going on far.
the build that Ursa goes. Will be interesting to see if he manages to be able to take on the PA. At the bottom there we do have some action.
Phantom just blinked out, managed to get out before the ice path hit. Saved him from getting totally wiped out. Well,
little
AA
bit
is going for the Warlock top, yeah.
A little bit of trading, a little bit of fighting. PA has a lot of regen still for bottom, so she's quite happy.
CM's got a lot on her as well to keep this PA alive.
Lots of action at the top. Chaos Skip is taking out Water on the Warlock.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is going to get away though. He is slightly quicker.
He's got the boots already over the Ursa who hasn't.
It was a really good choice in those early boots to get away from things exactly like that. He would have died if he didn't have those boots.
A little
So,
bit of speed is
unfortunate.
everything.
The Ursa Chaos Skimp does have boots in his stash awaiting delivery. He's not calling it just yet though. Is that a mistake? Who knows?
Got the Viper mids out of mana. Getting harassed a little bit by Weaver. Looks like Weaver is trying to find the ward, but Sentry is just on the wrong side.
It's very close, but not quite in the right place. That being said, Weaver still has the regen, and the Viper's only got one tango.
One tango on a
Yes.
20-second cooldown still, and a fairy fire.
Yeah, whereas
That's
Weaver has
PA.
3.
PA is getting very low on this bot lane. Oh, very low. Hit by the
Spartacus tries to get the
Liquid
Ice
fire.
Path out, but he misses the CM, Cthulhu. And they're forced to retreat.
PA's just salved up.
Switch 9's very happy to get that salve from CM, and still has a lot of regen ready to go. Action on top, potentially.
Not a lot this axe can do at the moment until he gets his blink dagger or some movement speed. He's not going to catch this Ursa out with a taunt. Weaver with illusions mid, moving around to jungle the enemy side.
Axe actually has a Vanguard queued up before any sort of boots. That might be a mistake considering being against an Ursa with not only the Earth Shock and the pounce from the Earth Shock, but the boots as well.
Yeah. Warlock here trying to steal some of the Ursa's farm.
Missing bottom.
Weaver waiting for the 5-minute bounty rooms to... He hasn't even got a bottle, so just getting that to secure the gold.
It's not been a very active game so far. However, Skadi is jumping straight onto Frozen right there. Manages to poison him down under the tower.
Well, it's very, very dangerous with that poison attack. Especially at level 3.
He has decided not to get another toxin at all, knowing Weaver's movement speed, I imagine, and has gone all in poison attack.
And of course the corrosive skin, so he gets that damage off for when he gets attacked.
Of course, yes. Seems like it's paying off for him too.
Oh, yeah, we've got a possible courier snipe going on top. No, yes. Will he get him?
It could be two.
Two. No,
Both are low health. He might get one,
got one.
but he might end up dying for it. As he gets pounced, the taunt
And
comes
frozen.
out, but he just won't be enough. He doesn't have boots. He cannot escape.
Oh,
He
big
does get
body
the
block
heal
by-
though, and the body block by Warlock. Portal is incredible.
Why not?
So, with the
Oh, and
gank
gank by
from
the-
Frozen on Weaver, just manages to finish them all off. Would things have been different if he had boots? Maybe not.
but
He does have boots now. He's picked them up since he died.
the pounce from the Earth Shock on the Ursa, just jumping straight over the Warlock. I think he would have got to him anyway, even with boots.
I think you're right on that one. PA taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It's very low health.
Missing
Being given
No
tangos by Cthulhu. However, Switch 9 is struggling now.
Well, he has salve now as well.
The Sour is going to help a lot, but that's the last one they have here, unless CM buys more. Again, the Boots of Speed being kept in the stash, just waiting. Whereas we have Boots on the
Missing
Underlord,
bottom.
but not the Jakiro. And the CM, but not the PA. Interestingly, we have the cores without boots and the supports with boots for the Radiant,
Missing bottom.
and the opposite for the Dire. I guess we'll see which one's better.
We've got Axe with his 6 now. It's ready to do some dunking. Been cutting the creep
It looks
wave
like
quite
they are
well.
waiting for something to happen. Widowmaker and Wartle are just running around in the jungle. Not entirely sure what they're waiting for. Ah, the split. They're trying to split the wave. And it just so happens that Philip J. Fry is waiting there with the AA, however is forced to retreat.
Oh, going mid. It looks like Weaver's just... He's going to die to the poison over time, maybe? No, just survives, getting away from the ult from the Viper. Still no time lapse on the Weaver.
Viper's
Even
now
though
level
we take
8. And Weaver's level 7.
And
So Weaver's falling behind just ever so slightly.
Side by
being
side.
bullied out a little bit too much by the poison attack from the Viper, I would say.
Poison can be very difficult to deal with.
Awesome, it's missing.
I'm glad I'm not in his shoes, that's all I can say.
And this Dire Tides is pushing in their bottom lane quite heavy into the PA. They've got a lot of damage over time, which isn't being very good for this PA, taking a lot of damage.
Well, PA's with her blur is great hero against those who physically attack. However, against the Underlord and the Jakiro,
Dire's middle tower
there's a lot
is
of damage that you
under
can still receive.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? They got
attack.
their
Listen bottom.
action going on top.
So up top we have Axe that calls the Ursa. Chaos Gimp is in trouble, however rages. Warple is on the retreat
Oh.
as Flip J Fry and now Frozen attacking. He
Oh,
teleports
they're
out
both
just in
deep out.
time, and they both get out just in time. Chaos Gimp is very happy just to return to farming lane as a POS 1. He's quite happy with that, although he has lost a lot of HP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not that
Looks like
much
he's
damage
building-
taken
Looks like he's building a battle fury, did you say? It's a battle fury, isn't it?
on the
On the
Ursa.
Ursa.
Yeah, looks like it. So he'll be going classic POS 1. He'll be going straight into the jungle as soon as he has that. Again, the mid is just getting absolutely bullied.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Although he does pick up a haste rune, he'll probably use that to gank. And he does do that. He goes straight for the rune. Oh, I thought he was going to go bot after that.
Go bot, no. It's back to farming.
So maybe he just used that to deny it from the enemy and decided he wasn't strong enough to gank yet, considering his position.
Yeah.
We do have Philip J. Fry here coming down for a possible gank on the mid lane. He spots the observer ward at least, takes that out, which will be useful for the Weaver. But that's all he's going to do for now and then back up. Top is still trying to split the wave,
Yeah.
which Ursa isn't that worried about. He's just going to keep farming.
Frozen's come in. They found the Warlock. The Warlock's going down.
For a repeat of last time, this time with kills. Weaver is now chasing down the Axe. Of course, with his movement speed ahead of the rest of his team, Axe could potentially turn on this, although against the Weaver at level 8, maybe not the best of ideas. He does get under tower range, just ends up taking the wave instead.
There is a gank going on bot by the looks of it. They've taken out the Jakiro.
Has been
Going on the Underlord now. That's a kill for the PA. 2 kills for the PA bot.
Assassination is nature's way.
Piers had a hard game so far against all magic casters, but that gank from the Viper on, with Skadi may have just turned the entire game.
PA does now have a Orb of Corrosion on the way, which should help him farm up and get those kills a little bit easier.
At almost 12 minutes in, you'd think that Orb of Corrosion is potentially quite late. However, PA has been struggling. Let's look at the last hits and denies. PA's at almost 50 last hits, so not too far behind what you'd expect from a standard game. Although Ursa is ahead with 60, so POS 1 versus POS 1. PA is a little bit behind, but as to be expected against these heroes. A few more ganks would probably help her with that. I say her as in PA the character, but Switch 9 is definitely a him.
We've got Frozen with DD mid on the Weaver. Looks like he might be trying to go on the Viper, does he? No, just trying to farm with it.
He's playing safe and farming with it. However, I don't know if he should be attacking at this point. Maybe he's worried from previous deaths and just doesn't want to feed. If we look at the scoreboard right now, we're looking at only one death from him.
Oh, the Axe is going to die top by the looks of it.
That's just chasing down this Axe. But with the Viper, Skadi teleporting in, they're going to have to be retreating, which they do, to their tower quite safely. Viper's movement speed, not great.
But enough to scare people.
Enough to push them back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Don't know why they're going so far into the jungle. Maybe they thought they were being chased in there.
Very, very deep on the bottom with the Underlords right under the tower.
under attack.
The Warlock come bot to help out. Get some heal on that PA.
We have the Ice Blast coming in
Dire's
from
top
the
tower
AA.
is
It's
under
a huge area. It does hit the
that's
PA.
PA.
Is this going to be enough to kill them? They have zero
think
healing from
so.
Shadow Word.
Radiant
This is going to be
structures
it for the
are fortified.
PA, I believe. They're going to shatter.
No, just
No?
survives. Just survives. And another Shadow Word from the Warlock to keep him alive.
So at level 1, the shatter health threshold is 12%. So they must have been over 12%. Only just. It's very close.
Very close. He was down to just over 200 health. So His max health as being 13, so it's about right. It's very close. I think another 10 HP and he would have gone.
Dire's top
Quick
tower is
maths.
under attack.
Something I'm not going to be doing.
Radiant's middle tower
Or even trying.
Dire's
Okay, so
top
the axe
tower
and
has
the
fallen.
Viper take the top tower. Top tier 1 has now gone on the Dire side.
Ursa and the AA have just seemed to pull straight
Oh.
back. They just left
Come
that
down,
to go.
come back down bot. EA has just got another kill on the Jakiro with the help of the Warlock ult. Although Frozen has come in to try and get something out of it. Doesn't look like he's going to. Oh, he's been frozen. Oh,
Frozen's been
and
frozen.
away.
That time lapse is very, very tricky, and as soon as they get a silence on the Radiant, that'll be game for the Weaver by the looks of it. At the rate it's going now, the Underlord does come in to try and do something with the situation. PA is very low, however the AA ultimate doesn't quite hit.
Everyone.
Unfortunately missed everyone.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We've got Ursa was looking for a kill on the axe top just now.
Radiant are scanning.
There's a Dire scan looking for that Dire. No, Radiant scan looking for the Dire, which they found them still sat in their jungle.
The Viper's been very effective this game. It was a really good pick.
Oh, what's going on, bot? Yeah, he's trying to
Gonna
get some
fight
more
bottom
kills.
with the AA Ice Blast coming in. It hits 2 of them, but not the PA. Switch 9's going to be very
Everyone
happy about that.
Gets the 3 hit. Oh,
They
got
get the
dunk
root
on the
off, and the dunk, and the kill on the axe there.
axe. There's the Weaver.
Weaver's coming in a little bit late.
Oh.
He's going to be focused, however, he can time-lapse right out of there. 70 seconds on that time-lapse, though. Radiant are forced to retreat slightly with the backup from Dire.
We've got a double damage rune sat in the river on the plot there. See if anyone... The Dire do have vision on that, so they know it's there. Looks like Frozen might be going for it to come back into that fight.
That is a very fortunate rune. However, he doesn't go back to the bottom. He decides instead he's going to push. He goes straight to mid.
Try to take that mid tower out. Which is fair enough, get himself a little bit more fun, get a bit more movement onto the enemy side of the river.
Could it be a strategic
Radiant's
advantage for
middle
them?
tower is under
Probably
attack.
is the answer. However, we have Axe coming in. He does have the Blink Dagger, although He
just
was
being cancelled
seen?
with he's just
fantastic cancel there. Axe
the
whiffs
swarm,
his
yeah.
Blink. He was too late, took the damage.
did quite a lot of damage to that tower in that little push though. Not much
Tower is
else left on
very
that.
low. Not deniable just yet, which is probably a good thing.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Means
under
that the
attack.
Dire can take it later.
But they are taking the bot tier 1. They've got AA, Underlord and
Radiant's
Jakiro there.
bottom tower has
Ursa
fallen.
does now have the Battle Fury. Comparing the two carries, we have Ursa with
Dire's
Finished
middle
Boots and the
tower
Battle Fury,
has been denied.
and PA with Finished Boots and a Wraith
Orbital
Band and an Orbital Corrosion, and almost
The Battle Fury. Oh,
the Battle Fury.
can this Ursa get away from all this physical damage? No, he's got rooted. He's down.
You fought badly.
I'm absolutely missing a lot of the beginning of these fights. Maybe you should be observing this instead, because I'm clearly not doing very
Radiant's
well.
bottom tower is under attack.
But the Radiant have just ganked. They took out the Ursa very easily, very quickly, very swiftly. And now they are just retreating back through the Dire jungle. They meet up with Frozen, who obviously didn't realise how many there were there.
AA ult in. Does hit 3 of them. Can he
The
get
Viper is
a
just
kill
not
on
taking
him?
any damage. The poison is going
Oh,
everywhere.
he's got the being frozen rooted. He's got a kill on him. But Frozen does go down with the Viper.
Interesting fight. It seemed to last a long time. The Viper went down and the Weaver went down. Lots of abilities used. Lots of people at half health or more, but only 2 deaths.
There's that faded brooch on the floor that ancient apparitions just picked up. I don't know if that's theirs or whether it was dropped by.
Can we even check when observing? I don't even know.
Okay, so looking at it, it says unknown. So I'm assuming it was dropped by the enemy team in their jungle because it's not on the PA side.
Well, they've stolen a neutral item. That's always feels good for that. We've also got Axe with the chipped vest neutral item, and he's going for the blade mail. This could make him quite dangerous, especially to Ursa.
This Underlord also has a chipped vest. It doesn't look like he's going for a blade mail though, but does have his Guardian Greaves already finished, and is starting on the Pipe of Insight.
So Underlord going for absolute tanky boss man, while Chaos Gimp on the Ursa has gone super farm heavy and going into a Basher next.
Mine. Illusion.
We've got the Warlock building his Ags. It's already got the Staff of Wizardry, just queued up the rest of it to go. It'd be good to get those double golems off. Always a good thing to see.
Interesting there, we had the Weaver Frozen baiting Switch 9 on the PA there with his illusion, so he could grab the bounty rune behind his back.
It's one of Frozen's favourite things. He used the illusions to bait whilst he goes off and fucks around in their jungle a little bit more.
Dust used by Wartle
Warlock.
there. However, he did miss the Weaver. The Weaver's long gone.
So we've got the rest of the Dire team pushing out the bot lane.
Dire's
Oh,
middle
However, there's
We've got
tower-
an
TP
ult
coming into
coming.
mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Listen,
attack.
just to push out this lane. A bit more farm for the Ursa here.
Seems like they're playing very safe. We had the Warlock TP bottom. They didn't want to push their luck. They didn't know where the enemy team was, so they just bounced out there and pushed a different lane instead. So very safe playing at this point, which is probably wise. They might feel slightly behind. They're only less than 1k behind, but they are kills-wise 4 kills behind. They probably feel
Radiant's middle
like
tower
they're
is
behind
under
at this
attack.
point, even though they're not that much.
Radiant
The
structures
PA
are
has just finished up his Battle Fury and queued up a BKB. It's his next item. There's a fight happening here now.
Guys pass come out from Splaticus, however,
Oh, there's the
doesn't last
Golem
long
Warlock.
enough.
Got the ult, the AA ult off on the Viper, but no damage being done to him. Not going to kill him. The Weaver going after the Warlock. Got the Warlocks, now going for the PA. Blinked away. They all kind of back out. Oh no, got the Ursa running in. And he's just going to go back to farm.
The Dire wanted blood on that. They were pushing and pushing and pushing, but the Radiant were just stopping it enough that they didn't really get that much damage out. They did get the Warlock.
Yes, they got the Warlock. Frozen on the Weaver was doing quite a fair amount of damage to the PA, but he
Dire's
managed
top tower is
to
under
jump
attack.
onto an ally to get away.
Both teams not feeling very strong, not strong enough to go in and absolutely do a 100% all-in just yet. Both teams playing quite carefully.
Weaver has his Agnim Shard queued up, which allows him to see Invis players with the Swarm. So going Invis will no longer save you from the Swarm, which will work wonders against the PA when she tries to get away.
Definitely counter that blur. Reduces cooldown by 4 seconds, causes the swarm to latch onto and reveal invisible units.
And the CM
And
has
it
also
spreads
gone
more.
Glimmer Cape, so it will also help with the CM when she tries to ult. They can still see her sat there.
That's actually potentially very, very useful. Because if the CM ultimates and then uses the Glimmer Cape, obviously you can't target her if you can't see her. However, you know where she is. You can still send your little Weaver swarms.
It's a little scuffle going on top.
Underlord rooting the Viper, but it's under their tower, so there's no real follow-up to this. It seems like it's more harassed than anything else. We do have 4 heroes top, while the PA is just happily farming in the jungle. This seems like a very common tactic from Skadi. He normally instructs his team to do this 4 protect 1 type deal, where he'll just make time for his carry, and it seems to be working.
Ursa has now finished up his Soul Basher, starting on the rest of it for the Abyssal.
We've messed up their blink. I'm not sure if it was damage or not, but they called before they blinked.
I've seen him do that a couple of times. I'm not 100% sure whether it is he's taken a small amount of damage so the blink don't work, but it's definitely happened a couple of times. It might just be misclicked.
There's the blink that time, however, he did miss the call. Blink obviously was a little bit short.
The
Swarm comes in.
And
Frozen goes for the supports, as he should do.
Yep.
Playing that Weaver game very successfully.
Both of them down.
And that's both supports down, thanks to the Frozen on the Weaver. His teammates now tipping him. Now we all know that's just to try and tilt the other team more than anything else. You have Skadi and Switch 9 running back now, knowing that it's a dangerous area to be at top. Knowing that the entire team of the Dire is up there. They just farm quietly as they can. They know they can't do anything about this push.
This PA, I think, just wants to sit. Doesn't really want to fight now until he gets his BKB finished, which is about 1,000 gold off now.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
PA's happily farming, although struggling to keep up, but Switch 9 can't really fight right now, and he knows it. It's a difficult position to be in. We now have the Dire 3k up. It was roughly even last time I looked at the actual
And we've got the Ursa Roshing as well, half health here on the Roshan.
It seems like they're aware. They know what's going on. They just can't fight it. They do go in, but it's already too late. Chaos Leap already has the Aegis. They try and go in with the root. However, they get ice blasted immediately all together. This is not looking good for the Raiden at all. Chaos Gimp just runs in knowing he has Aegis. Axe comes in with a blink, delays them, maybe saves his team, but he's going to die for it.
Trying to save that PA.
Weaver comes in to...
that PA, and,
PA is absolutely fine, still farming away. Weaver does come in to take out the supports, and that is unfortunate. The Viper did survive, however, barely. And it seems like now the tier 2 tower is going to go down just like the tier 1 tower did. It seems like now the Dire are having a massive, massive power swing.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower
The Dire are now 6k in the lead. So,
PA just needs 100 more gold for her BKB. Will the fights happen then with PA? Can PA fight an Ursa now? Is the Ursa out farming the PA? PA is a level above, but net worth wise, there's not that much of a difference.
Got the Abyssal on the Ursa now, so even with the BKB, it's not going to save against the Abyssal of the Ursa.
Old and sweet.
This is potentially about itemization at this point, rather than net worth. The Ursa and the PA are very close. Ursa is slightly above, but only by a small amount. But that completion of the Abyssal, as you said, that's going to be game-changing and possibly game-winning for them.
But the Weaver having a little search to see if he can find anyone. Taking their outpost. Gives them a little bit more mobility to get down to the bot lane if a fight starts, if they're not there. There is a double damage rune in the top river, which nobody can see at the moment. Whether or not anyone will possibly think of going there before starting this fight, it looks like they want to fight here. They have the BKB on the Phantom Assassin.
The Radiant know what's up. They're coming through the jungle to protect this tower. They know they can't let another tower go for absolutely free. They are in the jungle, however, they have already been spotted. Frozen throwing out the swarm, hits a couple of the supports, and they get out of there immediately. They've done their damage, they've pushed, and they get out very safely, thanks to the Underlord. And straight back to farming.
Outpost. Here we go. They're right by that DD rune. Will any of them pick it up? There we go. And Frozen on the Weaver has seen it. Now has the double damage.
Weaver with a DD can be quite scary for those supports if he manages to get to that back line. They are going to go down very, very quickly. However, right now, both teams are basically roaming as a 5. Even though Switch 9 needs to farm a little bit more to keep this going.
They
have no choice.
If he's by himself, he's not safe at the moment.
Absolutely. He does go to the mid because it is near his tower. Which is probably a good choice right now. He is getting Desolator. It seems quite late for a Desolator. However, he did go for the Battle Fury first.
There we go. We've got a smoked Dire team coming in.
Dire moving in with the smoke. They see Switch 9 on the PA. Immediately try and root in. But the BKB comes out. Wasn't useful enough. The Ursa gets to summon the Abyssal. PA gets out there. However, too many roots. Weaver goes down almost immediately. The Vibe doing huge amounts of damage to the poison.
The Ursa at the moment dealing all of the damage, taking out everyone. And can he get the PA?
PA jumps away to a creep, neutral creep, to try and get away, and luckily it hits an invisible rune.
Ooh,
Ursa knows he can't chase that.
shot.
Just goes back to farm, as he should. Warlock there, who is down, but their golem is not until now. Cool, really cool golem. Really like this, the look of the samurai golem.
The samurai, yeah.
Switch 9 very, very skilled on that escape there. That was really well played by him, and now he's slowly regaining his HP. And he'll be back to fighting ready soon, although his team didn't quite do it in that fight. Interesting.
No. And we still got the Aegis on. Oh, the Aegis just timed out on the Ursa, so it was still there for that fight, but wasn't needed.
I'm surprised we haven't yet seen a Call and a CM ulti and a Warlock ulti all in one. That combination could be devastating. At pick phase, that's what I thought their plan was. However, we just haven't seen it this game.
It did happen in that fight. It was the CM was just off center, but
was that it?
Going on? There just was not enough damage to deal with that Ursa.
Ursa's Rage, of course, gives damage reduction 80%. So while that Rage is happening, Ursa in any case is a fantastic pick. And status resistance, 50%. Yeah. So you're not going to stun him for very long, and you're not going to do much damage even when you do.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We've jump in with the taunt. Shakira's in trouble, rooted afterwards.
Got the root. There's an ult going on.
The AA ult comes in, however, it's way too late.
And there's nothing to follow up, so they just walk it off. We have the shard now on the AA, which gives his Ice Vortex damage over time for the enemies that are standing in it, which is quite handy if there's a team fight happening in a small spot.
Also extra speed reduction, which might be game changing potentially.
We've got Switch 9 going for some kills here.
Easily takes out the Underlord on
going on the Ursa here, trying to TP out. Gets away.
Great plays by Ursa there. He knew he was outnumbered. He knew he would have been absolutely risking it if he turned on that one. So he just decided to TP out there, and there were no stuns to back it up.
And whilst all this is happening, the Weaver is pushing the tier 3 on this top lane, which has been pinged out by the enemy, but
Axe is going to try and scare him off, but
then back the Axe.
Is it
See
enough?
if we can get the blink. Got the blink call off.
It's a level 15 Axe, however, he's got the blade mail. Oh, but the time lapse has saved his life, and he is out of there. BKB time lapse. That was very close. The Axe with the blade mail, almost taking out Weaver there with the cool blade mail. That was a really good play by Axe, by Widowmaker there on the Axe. However, the time lapse is a very strong ability. overpowered, some might say. Ridiculous and shouldn't be in the game, others might say.
But easily compatible by a simple orchid.
A silence, yeah, you are right. Does any of their team have any silence?
No silence at all.
Just looking through the items here, there are no silences on anyone. Very surprising.
I'm assuming they're waiting for the Viper to try and get the. Actually, is that a sharp thing? There's never top 2 cooldown. Oh,
there's the stun on the Warlock. PA following it up as well with some amazing damage now coming out from Switch 9. The Underlord tries to get out there, but he's going to go down before his ultimate comes off. Axe jumps in with the Blade Mail. Jakiro's in trouble. Splaticus is trying to run away on the Jakiro, but he is amazingly slowed, and slowed even more by the Warlock.
There was a
slowing him right down.
Axe. Oh, it's going after the Ursa.
They are chasing after Ursa. The damage on that is crazy. Before he gets his rage out, he's now raged, he's going after him. He runs with the BKB. However, he is so incredibly low. He needs to get out there. One more dagger might take him off. If he gets a crit on the dagger, no, he lost sight just at the wrong moment. Ursa does get out of there alive.
Hawk going to pick up the bounty runes.
That being said, now...
Sorry,
after you.
They're gonna push out the that bottom lane with the golem to take that tier 1 on that bot lane.
PA now with the Desolator. Huge power spike. I mean, they were behind. The Radiant were behind. Switch 9 was struggling. He stayed in the jungle. He didn't fight. His teammates were dying. He just farmed. And now he's got more items. He's got a Basher. He's got a Desolator. He's got the Battle Fury from before.
He's going into the Abyssal.
He will be having the Abyssal. He is back in action. Damage he did to Ursa then was huge.
The lifesteal he's got with the Paladin Sword neutral is really good as well.
Very, very useful.
Needs that lifesteal will save him in fights.
This still could go either way.
Yeah, especially they've let it go on long enough that the Radiant side are actually starting to get the items that they wanted.
Ursa is saving up for something. On the note of items, Ursa has now got 2,500 gold. Looks like he's going to be buying that Demon Edge next for the Monkey King bar for PA.
Well, he definitely needs it because you don't want to be dealing with those missed attacks from the blur.
Absolutely.
That's wasted damage.
Especially now that PA is in the lead of full net worth. It's overtaken the Ursa.
And is getting more XP a minute over the
Dire's
Ursa.
top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Only the Ursa had buyback at the moment as well. So if the fight goes bad on either side.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Very good plays there by the Overlord. Started the teleport before the tower even went down, so it was completely ready. Tower went down, they got out of there. They're now top. They take back their outpost for the 40 minutes, as they should be.
Yeah. We've got the Weaver still running through the Radiant jungle, picking up their neutral camps to stop the farm for the PA. We've got some good vision in that bottom jungle, the Dire. They can see where most of them are when they're around there.
Yeah, he's scarily close to the enemy. Was he finishing off his Abyssal? Did he just finish that?
He has just finished his Abyssal. It looks like we might be looking at a Roche again.
It is up and ready. There's Philip getting the vision on top here.
There we go. Okay, who's this? We've got the Warlock coming, checking it out.
This should go down pretty quickly. However, they have vision on Wartle coming in. He throws down a perfect ultimate. However, there were no chains. And he goes down rather quickly with no backup from his team. They're in a little bit late. However, the Ursa easily gets the Abyssal Blade and the stuns onto the supports. Knowing he can't quite take the PA just yet. They focus the rest of the team. Axe goes down pretty soon after, thanks to the
Is an AA on the PA? who has jumped on the AA and taken him out. Yeah, so trying to get the Viper.
Switch
And he
9 is
gets the AA
doing
as well.
damage
Oh.
here. They hit the Aegis. An amazing fight there. The PA is just absolutely too powerful. And these two players here know that they can't really battle it out 1v1 safely. So both of them are keeping their distance at this point.
The Penta-Edge sword on the Ursa making all the difference in that fight. That extra damage and range. Being able to get the Viper from distance.
A little bit of banter there from our players. A fair exchange. Who's claiming victory on that one? They themselves know that it was very close.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And very, very nicely switched. Nice's friendship was the winner on that one. Of course, all these players are friends. They all know each other. It is a friendly game.
Well, we've got the Axe on the Warlock. Now queued up for the Refresher Orb. To see if he can get all 4 of his golems off.
Yes, Refresher being a very powerful item on Warlock. If he can get his chains
Yeah, if he can
and
change.
double ulti, oh,
And
that's
then-
a fight I don't want to be in.
What a lot of people don't know is Fatal Bonds does stack. So you can Fatal Bonds ult, Fatal Bonds and ult, and it deals so much more damage.
Really? I didn't even know
It
that
does.
myself.
Fatal Bonds does stack. So you can get two lots of chains off, and you're just dealing ridiculous amounts of damage from the Warlock.
That's a scary thought. If they can manage that, that's
Get
scary.
the upheaval off. Get the upheaval off to keep them in there with the golems.
With a smoke from the
It's
Radiant
hard done.
going in mid, they managed to hit Ursa. However, he's backed up by AA and Jakiro.
Chains off.
They get all of their
Oh.
abilities off perfectly. Macapire comes out, although it's just not enough. So quickly moving on to Frozen here comes in, but he's just too late. He's now on his own. It's now a 5 versus 1. Although the PA is low, and this could be it for the PA, Frozen needs to just get out of there. He's in danger. That being said, the CM goes down from the AA, I think.
Just missed the call.
Cool missed.
The Warlock down, but he's got his ult off. Then we get rid of the PA. Then get rid of the PA. They'll be in.
The AA comes in.
AA is down.
AA takes out PA with his ulti, and the Radiant are now suffering.
AA
However,
goes to try and get away.
they root the TP, and AA does not manage to escape, going down rather quickly from the Viper. It's now Viper and Axe, who's very low on HP, but they do have 2 Warlock Golems there, and they are pushing the main base. We have a buyback from AA. What can he do at this point? He might be able to keep them back, but they are hitting the tower.
Structures are fortified.
And there's a Fortify.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Pushes back the Axe. Can't quite deal with the mollies.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And there's a Macro Fire. Probably a little bit off center, but it worked at pushing them back.
He hit one of the Golems. I think that was his target. Maybe he could have hit both. Not entirely sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. The Ursa just stopped the TP of the Viper and took him out. There he got away.
Fantastic play by the Ursa there. And the AA. Working very well together. Ursa now level 26.
Nearly got everything he needs for his NKB. And it's just coming out to him on his courier. Yeah, so he's got the recipe and the javelin. So that's one extra item to help deal with the PA. Does have double damage.
Ursa with the double damage is a very scary thing indeed.
And they can see where the Warlock is, but they just lost their vision.
Ursa is falling behind in net worth from the PA, that is. PA's now roughly 2k and a bit over.
Got the Underlord just TPing in to give a hand take to tier 2.
Radiant's
So that's
middle
all the
tower
tier
has
2s down
fallen.
now on the Radiant.
Dire still have 2 of their tier 2s left, so technically speaking, Dire are winning as far as buildings go. However, the building in Dire, the mid tower, is half HP, so it's still a very close game. And the
We've
net
got the
worth...
Weaver taking out the outpost spot. He was also sold his boots now that he's got the level 25 Shikuchi speed and starting on an MKB.
He sold his boots.
It is because you get all of that extra speed from the Shikuchi. It's not really needed.
And now a haste rune.
Oh, he's coming into the fight.
Fight coming in, Magpie going down. The axe right in the middle of it. And with the slow. Warlock ulti comes out.
This Weaver is
Ursa not
just
taking any
chewing through
damage.
them,
Weaver's just sat on the side, shooting his little whatever he shoots. Ursa very happily just slapping people up. Not even any HP taken. Ursa's happy to keep going.
Got the buyback on the PA and the axe available.
Those
Whether they
deaths
do it,
could
they
have caused the
both do
game.
it.
They have buyback PA and the axe both buyback. Viper throwing down the Nether Toxin, trying to slow them down. It is going to work. However, we have the Weaver hitting mid at the same time. This is a double assault on the base.
Oh,
PA goes straight in. However, the BKB and the Shikuchi managed to get frozen
Radiant's
away
top
there on the
tower
Weaver.
is under attack.
got the ninja
Raiden.
here on the Phantom Assassin. Extra movement speed and another invis.
Interesting, we have Ninja Gear on the
Radiant
Weaver as well. The neutral drops are very similar
Golden
this game.
thread.
AA, though, not currently having a neutral, which is surprising.
Opting out of a neutral, eh? Oh, he was swapping neutrals. He's just picked up the Minotaur Horn,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
which is like a BKB for 2 seconds, which is pretty decent.
Mini BKBs are always handy.
Interesting that it's on the AA though. I would expect it to be on maybe the Ursa to get him out of a situation if he's already used his BKB, or on the Underlord who doesn't have a BKB.
I'd probably put it on the Underlord.
I would have
It
as well.
Works a bit better than the
Radiant's
closer
bottom
flames,
tower
although it does
is
give
under
that
attack.
like mini radiance effect. I think the BKB Minotaur extra strength, considering he is a strength hero, would have been the better bet.
Interesting now that Weaver has the Gleipnir, the new item, which is a Rod of Atos but in AoE, and it's quite a large one as well.
Yes, made of the
Absolute-
Rod of Atos and the Maelstrom.
Yes, so he has the Maelstrom benefit as well. He is going to be locking down some heroes. That is very useful. These team fights will be very useful. His team is now indicating that they want Weaver to group up with the team, which is actually great game sense because the Radiant have now smoked up looking for a fight. If the Weaver listens to his team and goes top, this should be okay. However, it doesn't seem like Weaver's doing that. The smoke gets broken. PA jumping into the Underlord, who immediately roots him, and then they swap targets to the axe.
Ursa backing off with the BKB up, wanting to get some health up, I think.
Ursa's just not in
Weaver
this fight.
taking out the backline. Weaver doing a lot of work here. Ursa coming in.
Looks like they bought enough time for the Weaver to come in around the back, and that was absolutely perfect. They backed off just enough, the Weaver could come in and take them all out from the back, and at that point Ursa went back in, raged, and that was the end of the fight.
Don't know if you've noticed, but if you look in the Roche pit, there is in fact cheese that's left from the last Roche.
Someone didn't want that cheese.
Radiant's
They are
top
lactose intolerant.
Radiant strength.
With buybacks here, they are taking the tower in top lane. However, the fortification comes out. Is it going to be enough for the buybacks?
Well, we have the Weaver pushing the mid as
It's
well.
now a 3v5. Weaver's just killing the mid tower, so it's a 4v3 at top. Is Weaver going to help out? Nah, he's quite happy just hitting the tower. The tower top goes down. Ursa just decides to start beating on the barracks. Radiant are backing off. There's just not enough of them to take this. It's now a 2v5. They don't really have enough to defend, even though Viper is very powerful. They're just outnumbered. They take top barracks with ease,
They're
and they
gonna
rotate
take
round
mid.
to mid. Which is primed thanks to the Weaver being there. Mid goes down as well.
Radiant's middle barracks.
They might go for the win here, considering they've got almost a minute
Yep.
on respawns. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to
Warlock
do. Warlock goes down, pops the Golem on death, but that's not enough. That goes quickly down to all the spells happening. They just keep on beating on buildings. The Jakiro's out front, which is probably not the best of ideas, but he is stopping the enemy from moving up whilst everyone else just hits towers.
We've got the Viper is throwing down his Devastation, but it's not. It's not enough.
It's just not enough on your own. You need someone to chase it up. It's a good disable for the abilities and passives, but it just wasn't enough this game. And it looks like Dire will be taking game 1.
Yeah. Good game. Who would you say was MVP in that?
Oh, I can't even say. It was everyone played so good, and I know that's such a political thing to say. Oh yeah, but everyone had their spot in that game, their reason in that game, and everyone had their really good plays. It was a very close game, 49-minute game, lasted quite a long time, but in the end, that Ursa was just too strong with his Fury swipes. I think a part of that was just the fact that we had really good picks from Dire, and they played it to their abilities. I don't think we saw enough AoE fights, pick-offs, or if we did, then there were too many BKBs, or there was rage, or there just wasn't the right targets. Something happened, and it stopped that damage coming out on the combo. Yeah,
definitely. I think Ursa was probably the MVP on the Dire side, and then Radiant, it's got to be the PA. He was doing a lot of work, but just couldn't do enough.
Absolutely. Well, that ends game 1 for today. The teams have been fantastic. That was Pistol Pete's Pussy Patrol versus the Choas Knights, which is chaos spelt intentionally wrong, I should say. So the Chaos Knights, but Choas, it's the O and the A is mixed up. So that's the end of game 1. Thank you, Left in Death, for joining me. I've been Shoppy. Left in Death has joined me today. Thank you, and we'll see you for game 2.